more space on there to write?
Well, if we don't do the whatever these are called, the number 1 through 7 thingy, I don't know what
I need a place for you to write some stuff, so maybe you should take out a blank piece of paper.
we can go to the back of the page.
Or put it on the back, I guess. If you want to put it on the back, it does deal with all of this kind of. Now I don't know. I lost my place. Yes. Okay. Here is stuff to know. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
You didn't say they all to be like saying. You just said as long as you respond. No.
Where does that come from?
I'm sorry.
Let's kick her out.
I'm very sorry.
You are not helping the cause of anybody.
You're right. Yes.
Now you made me lose my place. Okay, here we go. Let's call this facts to know. All of that stuff we wrote down yesterday has a purpose. And these would be the purpose. Ready? There's like a zillion of them. But they all come into play. By the way, did I tell you, this is what geometry is like. If you like this kind of stuff, you'll like geometry. If you don't like this kind of stuff, well, maybe you'll still like geometry, but there's a good indication that it may not be the best thing for you. First of all, we defined some things. We defined vertical angles, which were also called what? Opposite. Thank you for whoever would not. Opposite angles are, ladies and gentlemen, equal. Opposite angles are equal, which simply means this, Lauren Ulrich. 6 and 7 are opposite angles. That means if 6 is 130 degrees, 7 is also 130 degrees. Vertical angles are, or opposite / vertical. Important fact number 2. You may be able to guess some of these, some of you maybe not. We also talked about adjacent angles. Those are ones that form a common side when they're split from the intersecting lines. Anybody tell me what I'm going to feed? Adjacent angles are... Somebody out there. One of the words we defined yesterday. Adjacent angles are... No, I don't want the definition. It's a fact that we didn't state yesterday. Don't tell me that they share a common side. I don't want to know a definition. I want to know a fact about adjacent angles. Madison?
They are.
Starts with an S. You should play hangman. John? Thank you. They are supplementary. They are supplementary. That means when you put them together, they add up to 180 degrees. Hence, since 6 and 5 are adjacent angles, I know how big angle 5 is because it has to add up to 180 degrees, which is supplementary. They have to form a straight line. This would have to be 50 degrees, correct?
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
We're making progress here. We are making progress. That means angle 8 would also have to be
50.
See, this is where the geometry comes in. You can't just say it's 50 degrees. You have to give me the reason, Cassie Malis, it's 50 degrees. Why is angle 8 50 degrees? See, it's not written there. You can't just tell me it's 50 degrees without having a reason for it. We call that a proof or whatever in geometry. And I've given you multiple things you could use here, Cassie. For what reason is angle 8 50 degrees? I'm guessing you could pick either one of these if you like. Just read it out of the board. Because, yes, because it is opposite angle 5, and opposite angles are equal, so it has to be 50 degrees. Or you could have said it's adjacent to angle 7, which makes it 50 degrees. Or you could have said it's adjacent to angle 6, which makes it 50 degrees. Are you picking up anything that I'm laying down?
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
All right, we're getting there. So 2 facts to know, 2 down, about 17 more to go. What else do we need to know? Oh, here we go. I don't know if we said this before, but corresponding angles are, now remember what we said corresponding angles were. That was that thing where if you pull this up off the paper, put it back on top of this, the ones that are on top and bottom of each other. Brian, what is your thoughts? Corresponding angles are complementary, supplementary, dietary, huh? They are not. I didn't tell you the one. I wasn't going to tell you one of the answers. It's something other than complementary and supplementary. Olivia? Yeah, or equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Because of that, Aaron Murray is going to tell me that angle 1 is how many degrees? Why? Yes, because angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. They must be equal. So 50 degrees here means 50 degrees there. See the beauty of math? It's all around us. It really is. Ready? What else, you ask?
What else do you ask?
Well, glad you asked. What other things did we define? We defined alternate interior angles. Alternate, I need a color. Alternate, and you can abbreviate this, alternate interior angles are, now let's go talk about that again. Remember, the interior is this part. Alternate means on opposite sides of Mr. Transversal. I should have said this. I don't know. So 5 is an alternate interior angle to angle 4. Angle 4 has to be, oh wait, I didn't say what it was yet. Guess what angle, alternate interior angles, maybe you can guess where this is going, Emily. Alternate interior, let me give you some clues. They could be complementary, they could be supplementary, but I'm going to tell you what are the answers. They could be something else. What would they be? They are not complementary. You got another choice. Take a shot. Alternate interior angles are, wait, stop. Hold the presses here. Let's look here. This is 50 degrees, right? This was 50 degrees. Angle 1 and angle 4 are opposite / vertical angles. So angle 4 has to be how many degrees? 50, says Emily. Now, let me rephrase my question, Emily. Alternate interior angles are thank you, equal. That took a long time to get there. Alternate interior angles are equal. If they fall on opposite sides, they're equal. You could also say, for another reason, you know this is 50 degrees because 8 is 50 degrees. Why is 8 50 degrees? Because it's a vertical angle. It's also supplementary to that. If this is 50 degrees, 4 has to be 50 degrees. Why? Because of, if angle 8 is 50 degrees, 4 has to be 50 degrees. Why? Because of corresponding angles. You kind of get the gist of what geometry goes around and does. It's kind of a, ready? This may be the last one. And maybe you'll figure out what this is even before I say it. Does anybody know what I'm going to say next?
No.
Those of you who are paying attention. Whoa, wait, what was it? And guess what they're going to be? Looking at the pattern of things we have here, excluding supplementary, what are, Emily, alternate exterior angles are going to be what? There you go. Alternate exterior angles are exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Going back, looking at my two parallel lines here. Look at number 8 is an exterior angle, and its alternate exterior angle to what? Angle 1. Angle 7 is 150 degrees. What's its alternate exterior angle? 2. So it has to be 150 degrees. Now, back to the phrase that I wanted you to write before, but now I forgot to do it till right now. This is the one that I remember from high school. Put this in your memory banks because it is well worth remembering. And you sound smart and know it. I don't know where to put it because I ran out of room. Here, let me move this over. That's going to be trouble because everything's going to move. Anybody? Oh no. No. No.
No, it's not today. It's not.
No. Alright, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to take this one on the chest. Ready? Write this down. In as big of letters as you can find room to write. If 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, and then dot, dot, dot.
We already have that. Yeah. We already have it. No, we already have that.
When did we write that?
Yesterday.
Oh, great. At the beginning of class or at the end of class? Did you repeat after me?
Yes.
Were you loud when you said it?
Yes.
What was that? All right. Well, then you don't have to write this again.
I already did. It's gonna have it on front and back.
Now, but we didn't finish with the phrase that page, did I?
No.
This is the preface that you have just before you say, if 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then alternate exterior angles are equal. 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then alternate interior angles are equal. If 2 parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are equal. You can't forget this little phrase that comes before these, because these don't really mean anything unless you have 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. You can have vertical lines, they don't have to be cut by a transversal, but these, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and corresponding angles, those come after this little phrase right here. Got that?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
See, once again. Joseph, what can I do about this? The lack of. Let's take a look here. So, and again, here is what. Let me just draw. Here's my 2 parallel lines. And I'm going to cut it by a transversal this way. And I'm going to label these things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The dealy bopper with this thing is this. If I tell you that angle 2 equals 50, no, I don't want to say 50, we already did 50. If I say angle 2 equals 55 degrees, you can tell me what every other angle on my parallel lines and transversal are, correct?
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
But the deal is, you can't just say it, you have to be able to prove it. So, for example, I am going to ask you angle 5. Angle 5 equals how many degrees? Emma. If I know that angle 2 is 55 degrees, angle 5 is how many degrees? Thank you very much. Now, that's the easy part. You have to tell me why. I don't think we have a rule that says alternate. Well, unfortunately, this is an alternate exterior angle to this. It is not angle 5. And, by the way, let me preface that with, you can't use alternate interior, alternate exterior, or corresponding unless you say if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. That's all part of the whole. Part of the whole engagement. You gotta say it all. Console? Well, unfortunately, angle 3 is opposite of angle 55. 5 is not an opposite angle to angle 2. Sittler?
Because if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are equal.
That is it. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are equal. So you could abbreviate this just to say corresponding angles. So we know this is 55 degrees. Then if I ask you what angle 4 is, angle 4, Caleb Fisher, is? Tough math there now. You can do it, I know you can. One what? Thank you. 125 degrees. And why, Caleb Fisher?
Because of two parallel lines cut by transversal, it's like it's totally.
Uh-oh. Suddenly, children, we've run into a brick wall. Chase, you can tell me why, can't you? How did you know it was? Where did you come up with 125? Did you say something? Did you just get that out of here? Somebody help me out, Andrew. I mean to frighten you, sir. Why is it 125? I would love to know what you're talking about. How about this? Can I ask? 2 and 4 are what type of angles? Olivia?
2 and 4?
Yeah. 2 and 4 are what type of angles? They are not opposite angles.
Oh, they're adjacent.
They're adjacent angles. So, what's the rule about adjacent angles?
Two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, adjacent angles are supplementary.
Adjacent angles are supplementary. By the way, again, you don't have to say the parallel lines are cut by a transversal unless it's alternate interior, alternate exterior corresponding, because any intersecting lines, you can have adjacent angles. It doesn't have to be parallel lines. But yeah, this is simply because of adjacent angles. So you can say it's adjacent to angle 2. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. How about angle 6? Angle 6 is how many degrees and why? This is the meat and potatoes of today. Angle 6 is how many degrees and why? Shannon Biddens. By the way, there are 1, 2 reasons right now you could tell me what that is. There's 2 different proofs that you can use for that.
125.
It is 125. And then the reason would be for what reason?
Adjacent
Yeah, to what?
to 2. No.
6 is not adjacent to 2.
Huh?
Yeah. You could say it's 125 because it is adjacent to angle 5. Angle 5. This has to add up to that, so it's 120. What other reason? There's another one you could have used, which would be just as well. Ulrich!
Interior.
Yeah, it is also, well, wait, you have to say the rest of that. Not lines, two parallel lines. Yeah, it is an alternate interior angle to angle 4, and they have to be equal. Angle 7 is how many degrees and why? This should becoming easy for you here. Joseph, angle 7 is?
55.
Why? You can give me, wait, before you tell me, there are 1, 2, 3. You can give me 3 different reasons why that's 55
The
degrees.
two parallel lines are cut by transversal, then alternate axial angles are equal.
Okay, what's another reason why? Andrew?
No, it's opposite.
Okay, it's opposite of angle 5. And the last one, reason you could have used? Emma?
If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, adjacent angles are supplementary.
Oh, maybe there's another one. Yeah, okay, did we not say adjacent angles? We said opposite, adjacent. What was the other? Did we already say that? Well, we didn't do that one yet, did we? Did we do alternate exterior?
Yeah, that's the first one.
All right, that's all. Yeah, got it. Good. What else do we have here? How about angle 1? Angle 1 is how many degrees? Bri? How many degrees is angle 1?
125.
Why? There are 1, 2, probably 3 reasons again there.
It's adjacent to
It's adjacent to what
adjacent,
angle?
sorry.
To what angle?
Angle 8.
It is not adjacent to angle 8. Adjacent means it shares a side. It's adjacent to 3 and it's adjacent to 2.
2. Okay.
All right. Another reason, Zach?
Two parallel lines are cut by transversal, then opposite angles are equal.
Opposite angles are equal. Again, you don't have to say the transversal thing if it's opposite angles because they have. And then the last one is. Oh wait. Which one? We had adjacent, opposite, and the last one is. There's one more. Ulrich. Corresponding angles.
Corresponding angles. Because they add up to
Remember that?
180?
Do you remember do you remember from math class if two parallel lines are cut by transversal then? That phrase ring a bell? Yeah. Must have been lately that made it.
You must have made a huge impact on you. But I learned it in geometry too.
Yes.
I don't know why, I like geometry. Yeah, that's my learning the geometry class I had. Ms. Martin. I'm attempting to send Parker home and I see his running temperature.
Oh, Parker.
He's like, my body is not maintaining homeostasis. Okay.
Is that what he
We were in
said?
science class.
Oh, well, good for him. How many people have had enough of that? I do need you to write, we gotta do one more thing. And here we go, write this down. I should have copied this and gave you a copy of this here. People get this wrong all the time, so draw this little shape with me, children, as best you can, in your notes. That's a right angle, and this thing comes across like this. Got that? Try to copy that as best you can, and label it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This, by the way, will get you some math test scores, if you're looking for that sort of thing. And what is the question I am asked? You ask.
What is the question I am asked? Yes.
Find measures angles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Find measures of angle 1, measure of angle 2, measure of angle 3, and the measure of angle 4. How many degrees do each of those equal? And keeping in mind, what's this little square corner mean? That this is 90 degrees. Somebody help me out. Angle what equals what for what reason? Clausing, we have not heard from you today. What angle equals what for what reason? Now you don't have, by the way, there are not parallel lines, nor are they cut by a transversal. So, if you're going to tell me there's alternate exterior angles, I'm going to say there are not. There's no alternate interior angles, and there are no corresponding angles. However, there are intersecting lines which would give you adjacent angles and vertical angles and other things there. Maya, what do you got? Angle what is what? 2 is 40 degrees because it is opposite angles. Yep. Very good. So I can put my 40 degrees there. Somebody else in the whole mathematical realm there. John says,
1 is 140 degrees.
I'm sorry, one more time on that one.
1 is 140 degrees.
1 is 140 degrees because it is adjacent angles, yeah, and it's supplementary. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, 3 and 4, somebody. You may have to think slightly outside the box, but you do have the knowledge, you have the capability, you can do this. You can do this. Emma Miller?
Angle 4 is also 140.
Angle 4 is not 140. Were you going to say because of what reason?
Because it's opposite.
Angle 4 would be only opposite of this angle here if you knew it, but you don't know it. It's not opposite of those things. And again, it's not a corresponding angle because there is no parallel lines. Oh boy, we've run amok here. Use some prior knowledge. Anybody? Give me some direction. Somebody out there, please, 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 please. Maybe if I do this, maybe this will help you out. Does this help anybody out? How big is that? Connor Morgan?
4 is 140.
3 is 140. Why?
Because like I don't know if we flip around, it's kind of like the same thing as that. Just
Unfortunately, in math, we can't use the kind around. It's if you flip it around, it's kind of like that thing over there. Chase, what shade did I just? What shape did I just shade in?
The triangle.
Do we have any? Do we know anything about triangles? Zachary?
Yeah, a triangle is 180.
Yes. A triangle has to be 180 degrees. And you know this is 40, you know that is 90. So, angle what has to be what? Zachary?
4 is 50.
Huh?
4 is 50. Angle 4 is 50.
4 is not 50 degrees. Did you label yours differently than mine?
4 is on the inside, correct?
I don't know, I think that's a 3, isn't it?
Then 3 is 50.
3 is 50 degrees. And that would be because of 180 degrees in a triangle. And then finally we can do angle number 4, which is, again, awkward sign. Chase?
100 degrees.
130 degrees because what?
Um,
I'm sorry. This was 50 degrees. 130 degrees because of what? Chase? How did you get that? Because it forms a straight line, and we call that what type of angles? Shear side, form a straight line. It's
adjacent.
it is adjacent angles. This is 130 degrees because of adjacent angles. Doesn't that? Don't you feel very refreshed?
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Hahn.
For which the question you asked should we do?
What question should we ask, Mr. Hahn?
what you shall do.